Hey, and welcome to Red Ruckus, the second level of Alien World Order in Duke Nukem World Tour. So the first thing we're going to do here is destroy this egg. We've got to be careful because these turrets here are going to hit us as soon as we come out of that opening area. So just going to destroy it here. Excellent. So you can see we've come into what looks like a little warehouse, a little storage unit. There is an egg inside this box here. Sometimes it opens up right away, sometimes it doesn't. It can depend really. There's some armor in here, which I'm definitely going to be grabbing. So as we step outside here.
Back in the USSR, baby.
So the thing with this level is that it starts out in this sort of open area, this city area here, and eventually we're going to be heading underground, deep underground. So it's quite a transitional level, this one, because we start out in what is very clearly Russia, Moscow here, and, you know, things change very quickly. There are quite a few places that we can go here as well. I'm going to grab the shotgun there, very nice, we needed that. As you can see, there's a lot of enemies around that corner there, so I'm just going to draw them all to this corner here and take them out one at a time. It's better to do this than face them head on because they will just chip away at my health. The thing about this level as well is that it's also quite long. So if you're used to Duke Nukem levels sort of ending after 5-6 minutes, this is not the level for you, trust me. Let me take care of you. Just going to get rid of all these trash cans here. You can see there was a pig cop in that final one there. There's a pipe bomb there, and we're going to use it on this wall here. This is the first secret of the level. What I do also like about this level is that they've taken the time to really come up with some interesting textures to sort of really sell the Russian theme. So before we head downstairs, I will have a look at that, but I also love how it's designed, as in there's a whole bunch of like secret areas like this, like places where the KGB and Russian spies would sort of hang out so they can sort of watch what's happening. This opening part of the level really does a great job of sort of capturing the paranoia and the sort of hidden world just beneath the surface of Moscow, and I really do like it.
I wonder if the Siskova sisters still live here. Natasha and Nastia.
So we're going to head upstairs here. Going to use this pipe bomb on these two pig cops here. So we can only enter this one apartment up here, unfortunately. There isn't sort of like multiple rooms for us to enter, and I think that's one of my slight disappointments with this level. There's a lot of potential for a bit more to explore, and I don't feel that they take full advantage of that in this level. You can see, we can see back down onto the area we were just in. Got some steroids on the bedside cabinet there. As we go around this corner, there's 3 pig cops. We can take care of them. So like I mentioned, unfortunately there isn't much to explore up here outside of that one apartment, which is slightly disappointing. So you can see a bunch of pig cops in here, including the ones inside the little tanks. Just gotta be careful here. I don't want to lose too much health to this thing. How you didn't die from that, I will never know. So this is supposed to be like a garage, like a sort of mechanics place. There's also what looks like a police station over there. These shop fronts are they all have really interesting sort of unique textures, and obviously that really helps to sell this as a sort of place that you'd see in Russia. So I do like that a lot. We're coming inside this shop here. Need to take care of you. Gonna grab the ammo off the top of the shelves here. You can see there's all kinds of stuff here, including these little weird sort of alien things inside the little jars, which you can shoot. You can see there's not much really down this end of the shop. It's really that end there where all the interesting stuff's going to be happening. I think there may be a broom blocking my way here. Yes, there is. So we'll just get rid of that. So this is another secret. So what's fun is that as we head back into the back of this store here, you can kind of see this is a sort of storage area. So, and if you go through that door there where the pig cop is, first let's get rid of you. You can see we're back in the starting area. So the level does have a very logical flow to it. So this is kind of the delivery bay, and this is where all the stuff in the shop gets stored. But there's something afoot in the back of this shop, and we're going to head back here so you can have a quick look at it. Going to grab the rockets here. So down here there's a whole bunch of enemies, but you can sort of deal with most of them from a distance. You don't actually have to fight most of the enemies down here. It's advised to do it this way as well. So it'll save you a ton of ammo. You can see there's a chain gun there. We've actually been quite unlucky. Usually we'll pick a chain gun up outside, but unfortunately the game just hasn't been that nice to us in this run through. So I don't know how I feel about this part here. When I first played this, I got a bit stuck here because I didn't quite know what you're meant to do. There's sort of a semi-secret lift that you have to lower to get to the next part of the level here. And if you're not paying particular attention, you will miss it. So just got to keep an eye out for that. So we're now going down this huge lift here. And you can see we're no longer in the friendly shop front. We're in what looks like a military facility. And there's a whole bunch of enemies in there, so let's just sort them out. So it's kind of important to remember in this level, there is only a finite amount of health, and luckily this level gets a bit more generous as you move towards the end of it, but if you're playing on the harder difficulties, you can find yourself being a bit overrun by enemies as you head down underground. I thought that might blow them both up, it didn't. Blow up that cannon there. So you can see we're in the central area here. There is a nice portable med pack there, which we're definitely going to be grabbing. We also get the Devastator, and you will be needing that in a second, because as we make our way over to this door here, absolute boatload of enemies waiting for us through this door. If you have the RPG there, you can probably launch 3 or 4 of them in there, and it'll clear out most of the enemies. So I'd advise saving some RPGs for this. I didn't do that, unfortunately. So you can see that there's another room here. Unfortunately, we can't open this door, so it means that we have to take the long way around, which is what we're going to be doing now. And we end up heading into what is some barracks. So all of this is kind of underneath the city. So again, this is the kind of thing you would expect to see in the underbelly of Moscow, especially back in the height of the USSR, where sort of public surveillance was a big thing and the military was kind of everywhere. So just be careful when you come around here, because there are a few enemies in this level that can launch rockets at you, and you'll be seeing what I mean when I say that very, very soon, trust me. Take care of you. There's a bunch of enemies in the toilet here. Again, just be careful because there's quite a mixture of enemies in here. There's also one enemy in this toilet. So we're now going to be introduced to the new weapon that came in this expansion, and it's the flamethrower here. Now, I do not like the flamethrower. I think it's pretty not friendly for the user because, as you can see when you shoot, it kind of shoots in a bit of an arc, so it makes it slightly more unpredictable to use. If it shot in a straight line, I'd probably find it more useful. But it does burn enemies and it does turn them into cinders, so it does have its uses. So as we move back towards the next part of this level, it's important to remember that you do need quite a bit of ammo for this room here, because as you can see there, it is indeed the Overlord enemy from the end of the second episode. So yes, they've finally done it. They've finally added in the Overlord as a proper enemy, and it is slightly terrifying because the rockets are quite powerful still. And what makes this even more confusing is that later on in the level you will be seeing the Big Daddy version of this. So even seeing the small ones here, you'll be seeing the big one again. So yeah, these enemies are quite frustrating to deal with because they are kind of big enemy sponges for your bullets. But the good thing is that we've managed to grab some ammo for the chain gun here. There's a lot of enemies in this level that really want to make you go boom. There's nothing much really behind there except a med pack and some RPG ammo. There is a secret over here by this wall. If you go behind here, you can grab the scuba gear. As you saw there, it is possible to grab the scuba gear and not the secret. So if you are secret hunting, make sure you actually trigger the secret. There's some octo brains down here. As you can see, there's not really much in this room, unfortunately. You're really just kind of here to get from one side to the other. So we come into this huge cavern here. Be very careful, there's two of those enemies there who are going to launch rockets at you, and they're not very nice about it. The assault commanders are a bit of a pain, especially when you can't see them on the far side of the room. As you can see here, it's very easy for them to sort of disappear into the darkness. So I'm just going to try getting as close to it as I can. Flame shoots there. Oof. I think the problem with them in this room is that you don't really get the chance to sort of see them until they're already shooting at you. You see there's a whole bunch of octo brains under the water here. So we're just going to try blowing them all up here.
Blow it out your ass.
We've taken out most of them here. Going to use the RPG here just to clear out the stragglers. So there is actually a secret in this area as well. It's worth popping your head into just because it's got some RPG and some Devastator ammo, which you will be needing at the level's end. So I do recommend grabbing as much of it as you can here. Going to head around the cavern here. You can also pick some stuff up off the middle here. But as we head up the staircase here, you're going to see that we're actually going to head back inside that base that we were just in. And we're actually going to end up on the other side of that locked door.
I'm gonna get medieval on your asses.
Get rid of you guys. Can't go through that door. So there is a logical storytelling to this level, and as you can see here, that's where we were earlier. If you want to go back there, you've got to go back through the underwater cavern area. But then we come into this large sort of space centre, and it is interesting to sort of see a room of this scale in Duke Nukem 3D. So you can see that once you've cleared out the initial wave of enemies, there's just a bunch of ammo and health stuff around, and that should probably give you a clue as to what's about to happen. So when we come over here and hit this switch, the rockets are going to come down so we can see what's happening. But as you'll see here, that's not the only thing that's going to arrive in this room. Oh no, oh no. As you can see, we have a Battle Lord and we have two Overlords, a small one and a big one. And yes, if those rockets do hit us, they're going to cause a lot of damage. So I'm focusing a lot of my initial fire here on the big one. But don't for a second think that small one is anything to laugh at. And yes, I am going to cheese this ever so slightly here by just making it so that the enemies do run against that rocket. The Battle Lord behind it as well sort of got stuck in that corner, so I got a bit lucky there. Excellent. So the only interesting thing now is to pick up that red key that appeared with these guys. But then the level just kind of abruptly ends, and I guess another small critique I'd have of this level is that after all the stuff we've seen and done, and after the escalation, it's kind of a bit weak to have the final room be like this. It's literally just an exit room. But I do like this level. There's a very clear storytelling going on with this one. There's an escalation, and I think that a lot of thought was obviously put into designing all of that to convey that to the player. And I really do like some of the ideas presented in this one. This is probably one of my favourite levels in this episode. But yeah, let me know what you think of Red Ruckus. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Are you a fan of this episode? Thank you very much for watching.